Welcome to this episode of Btoaimai. This is a student special video, so this is for you if you're a student or if you're a fresh graduate and you want to know how to maximize the amount of grants that you have, or even maximize the amount of loan that you have, or even be eligible for the grant in the first place. If you don't know whether you're eligible to apply in the first place or not, you can check out my previous video. I really showed in depth to see whether or not you are eligible to apply for a BTO in the first place. This video will be explaining more about the different scenarios available if you are a fresh graduate or if you're a student. For this part of the video, most of it will be animated here, so to show how different scenarios work out for different students. But before we get into that, let's talk a bit about the Enhanced CPF Housing Grant and how do you be eligible for this Enhanced CPF Housing Grant. Firstly, for both of you, your gross monthly income must be less than $9,000 monthly. Both must be first-timers. For students, this is where the point of contention comes in. One of you has to be working continuously for 12 months and still working when applying, at least one of you. The lease of the flat must be more than 20 years and cover the youngest buyer until 25. Lastly, for ownership, you shouldn't have any private properties under your name, whether local or overseas, or sold any in the past 30 months. Firstly, for scenario 1, we have student A and student B, both of whom hasn't been working continuously for 12 months. Both of them can apply for a BTO, but because neither of them has been working continuously for 12 months, they are not eligible for the Enhanced CPF Housing Grants. So what can they do? They can actually apply for this Deferred Income Assessment. What this Deferred Income Assessment does is, instead of assessing your income for grants and your HDB loan at the point of application here, you can follow the timeline. Your income will be assessed here 3 years later, 3 months before the key collection. So at this juncture, the probable case is that A and B have both graduated and working already for 12 months. And because of that, they will be eligible for Enhanced CPF Housing Grants and probably able to get a HDB loan. Next, for scenario 2, we have A, who is a student and hasn't been working continuously for 12 months, and graduate B, who has already graduated more than 12 months ago and already working for 12 months. They can apply for BTO and they are eligible for Enhanced CPF Housing Grant because B has already been working continuously for 12 months. But because she has graduated more than 12 months ago, they do not qualify for the Deferred Income Assessment. Next, scenario 3. For scenario 3, A is still a student and hasn't been working continuously for 12 months, whereas B has already graduated within the last 12 months but working within the last 12 months as well. So for this case, both of them can apply for BTO, but both of them unfortunately are not eligible for the Enhanced CPF Housing Grants because neither of them has been working continuously for 12 months. However, both of them do qualify for the Deferred Income Assessment because both have graduated or are still studying within the past 12 months. Next is scenario 4, which is slightly unique. A is still a student who hasn't been working continuously for 12 months, but for B, she has been working for more than 12 months but graduated less than 12 months. So in this case, both of them can apply for BTO, both of them are eligible for the Enhanced CPF Housing Grant because of B, who has been working for more than 12 months, and both of them qualify for the Deferred Income Assessment. So this is sort of the best case scenario and takes a lot of tactical planning. So the question here is, should they still apply under the Deferred Income Assessment? This is my take on it. If they do not apply for the Deferred Income Assessment, means they have their income assessed now, they would have a lower monthly gross income, which would lead to higher grants. But if they do apply, what happens is their income will probably be higher later as B continues to work, and for A, perhaps he would already have graduated, they would have lower grants in future. So this is scenario 5, and scenario 5 is one of the most unlucky scenarios because you see, student A hasn't been working continuously for 12 months, but for graduate B, she has been working for less than 12 months but graduated more than 12 months ago. So this could be a case, for example, in this current COVID-19 climate where it's harder to find a job. So Unfortunately for these few cases, even though you can apply for BTO, you will not be eligible for enhanced CPF housing grant because neither of you have been working continuously for 12 months, and unfortunately, you do not qualify for the deferred income assessment because graduate B has graduated more than 12 months ago prior to the application. But the question is, how do you qualify for this DIA, the Deferred Income Assessment? There are a few criteria that you have to hit before you qualify. Firstly, both of you have to be students, or you have to have graduated within the last 12 months. Secondly, your age must be within the range of above 21 and below 30 years old. So if you're a student above 30, unlikely that you'll be able to get this Deferred Income Assessment. And if you're below 21, you probably can't even apply for a BTO in the first place. Third qualification, you have to either be married or applying under the fiancé-fiancée scheme. Fourth one, at least one of you must be a first-timer. So this means that one of you must not have had a BTO before or a resale flat with subsidies or EC. So these are subsidized flats. Even if you apply for this Deferred Income Assessment, you still have to pay the recommended fees. For example, you still have to pay for your loan down payment, you still have to pay for your stamp duties, you still have to pay the legal fees. You still have to pay all these fees even though your income will be assessed later. This may be a bit taxing for you, especially if you're still a student, because the down payment for property is about 10% of the property purchase price, which means if the value of your flat is about $500,000, you have to pay $50,000, and that's a huge amount of money. If that's the case, what do you do when this happens? Because $50,000 is a huge amount of money. What you can do is this. So if you qualify for the Deferred Income Assessment, you would also be eligible for the Staggered Down Payment Scheme. In this Staggered Down Payment Scheme, what happens is that instead of paying this 10% during the agreement for lease, what is being done is that you pay 5% here and also 5% when you collect the keys. So instead of paying 50k during the lease agreement, you are paying 25k during the lease agreement and another 25k during the collection of keys. So this is a bit relaxing on your finances, so to speak. So that's pretty much it. If you are a student and you want to apply for BTO and you are not eligible for grants, what you can do is you can try for this Deferred Income Assessment, and once you do that, you can also try for the Staggered Down Payment Scheme. So you'll be paying 5%, 5%, and by the time you get the keys to your flat, you probably have grants already by then. So if you found this video to be helpful, please give me a like, follow me on Instagram, share this with your friends if you think that this will be able to help them as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video where I will be talking about my considerations for BTO.